Welcome everyone to another edition of The Association, a weekly podcast put on by yours truly, the host Jerry Riles, and of course the man of the hour. He is definitely a staple regarding this new venture as far as the podcast is concerned. And welcome to the media family, the broadcast side of the the media. He is the one, the only six-time NBA star, I'd like to say. Played with the Milwaukee Bucks, of course, up in Milwaukee. Attended Marquette University and some school on the south side that we really don't have to talk about. But he is the one. He's the only. His NBA Players Association Senior Counselor. He is Dr. Lloyd Walton. What's up, man? How you doing?
Good. Glad to be here. This is exciting. I really love our podcast simply because we can just tell the story the way it is. You know, truth to power, right?
Yep.
This is an exciting day today. We have All-Star Week. Right?
All-Star Weekend here in Chicago.
Hasn't been here since 1987, right? But more importantly for me is that we have a star of stars, right? We have Craig Hodges today, right?
Well, it's not just for you, man. I mean, come on now. We being selfish, man. I mean,
absolutely being selfish. Absolutely.
No, you got to share.
Right, it's home team.
No.
You don't understand.
Let me tell you something. I do understand when you say home team, this is Chicago. And the game is back in our hometown, man. And so you're a homegrown product in the hometown. You belong to all of us this weekend, brother.
We'll let it roll this time. We'll let it roll this time.
Come on. Hey, I'm representing the fan, man. I'm representing the fan. Craig Hodges, thank you so very much for taking the time to spend with us on this podcast. And you know what? You leave a lot of memories as far as Chicago basketball fans are concerned. And we talk about the NBA All-Star Weekend being here. And everyone, even if you don't know, you should know. Your success as far as the three-point shooting contest is concerned. What are you, a three-time winner of it, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you hold the record, right?
I hold a couple records.
Yeah, and it's not just 3 times. It's 3 consecutive.
Boom!
Right? And there's only 2 people that have ever done that. And we hear about one of them all the time. That was Larry Bird. But we don't hear about Craig Hodges as much.
Appreciate you.
And that's the reason why I wanted him to be here.
Sure.
Our families go way, way back.
No doubt.
He means a great deal about community and about people who are less fortunate. So I wanted him to be able to come and just talk about his journey, this one part of his journey. He has a whole journey to go through, but this one part of his journey, he won, as you said, Jerry, the 3-time consecutive three-point shooting contest. Which was amazing. 2-time NBA champ,
yes, sir.
Right? So the success was at an all-time high. And when you have platforms that we talk about now, people didn't understand having platforms then. They didn't talk about it at all. The fact of the matter is that Craig understood that a long, long time ago, that now I have a platform. I'm an NBA champ. I'm a 3 consecutive year three-point shooting champ, right? I have a platform. People listen to me. They know who I am. And so there's something that I want to do for people who are less fortunate to me, right? So I have to go to the White House with my team.
That's right.
Right? And so there's some things that you decided to do, Craig, as you wanted to bring attention to the plight of people of color in our communities. So let's just start with, what was your mindset to make the decision? Well, first of all, I'm going to wear the kind of attire that I think is appropriate.
No
Talk
question.
about that a little bit.
First of all, I want to thank you, brothers, for having me. Thank God for giving us the opportunity to come across the airwaves. But once again, it's that upbringing. You know, I'm a baby of the civil rights movement. My mother was part of soccer, which is Robert Lowe and the brothers back in the day. And then I had a chance to go to Long Beach State and study our history. And for me, it was just a natural progression of things. And as far as knowing that the platform that we have, whether I be a bus driver, whether I be a baseball player or basketball player, if I see something is wrong, I need to speak to that. And that's how we was raised in Chicago Heights, and as far as coming through the movement. And then when I had a chance to go to Long Beach State and actually study what was going on in as far as African people and African American people in general, it was one of those things where it became almost a premium on me, and as far as knowing that the more I studied about my history, the better my game seemed to get. So I said, hey man, I'm gonna study this the rest of my life. And it's been cool, man, to realize that people have appreciated the fact that, you know, you stand up for folks, and then you can for me, going to the White House was the ultimate in as far as not carrying the weight of my people, but carrying the message of my people to a place where they couldn't get a chance to go.
You know, it's interesting because a lot of fans, and this happened in the middle part of the 80s, right? And, you know, I can remember, you know, when you set the record as far as the number of threes shot in the NBA All-Star game for three-pointers. You still hold the record currently, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
What did you hit? 19
in a row.
Yeah, 19 in a
19
row.
in a row.
That's phenomenal, man. But I can tell you that when I was watching this, I mean, you know, I was screaming at the television, I'm sure, and that's why I said, you know, starting this podcast off, that you belong to all of us here in the city of Chicago, because when you were cranking up those threes, man, I can bet you and guarantee you that many of us watching we were ecstatic.
No doubt about it.
And every time you drain one, man, we were shooting that ball with you, and we were pulling for you.
And
Because
that's what I tell people all the time is that, you know, whenever when you're in an environment, and especially championships. We were in the championship run, and my contest happened to be in the midst of our championship run. But in the midst of those type of things happening, it's not just the team, it's the surrounding. And we understood, the thing that I understood more than anything, whether we had fans in the city, but the fans that were more fervent than anyone were our seniors, senior citizens. That it was amazing to me. My grandmom was in a senior home in Park Forest at the time, and I would go by, and every time I would come through, they would tell me how they couldn't wait for 5:30 to come so they could get ready to watch the pregame stuff, and they put on their Bull stuff. And to a lot of degree, you would feel bad if you let them down. So when I would be shooting and doing contests, the people who I appreciated most coming up to me, thank you, baby, for keeping us happy. You know, I'm like, thank y'all for supporting us, because without the fans, that's the energy that gives you that up to go forward.
so that was the motivation that you used in the three-point shooting contest.
Always the motivation of knowing that, like Lloyd said, you know where you come from, and you play a game that you love playing, like Bobby was speaking of. And when you have an opportunity to be the best at it, you want to seize it, and you don't want to let it go. Like he said, Birdie waxed me 3 straight times when I felt like I should have won, but on that day it was his turn to do it. And then you just have to realize that, just put your nose to the grindstone and shoot your jumper, and shoot your jumper, shoot your jumper, and before you know it, you'll win. And when I took the mindset that I had to go into the competitions with a game mindset. Before, when I lost it, I went into it with a mindset of this 3-point competition. The first night that I won it, the night before, I actually did my pregame routine for a game on the road.
Okay.
And I said, tonight, I don't have to guard Isaiah. I just got to shoot my jumper. You know what I'm saying? So every time I took it out of the rack, I was thinking in terms of somebody was actually passing me a kick out, and I'm just draining James.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that certainly is. They said that Larry Bird, when he won, that he'd wait till everybody got in the locker room. He'd come into the locker room, and then he just sized everybody up, and he started trash talking them, talking game.
Smack. Yeah, and see, Birdie was good at that. I think probably when he did that was the very first competition down in Dallas. We're all sitting in the locker room. You know, they take the picture of everybody sitting there. Picture was supposed to be taken 5 minutes ago. Larry standing somewhere, knowing we in there ready to go. He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna let him freeze him out." You know, he comes in, looks around the room. "Yeah, Leon Wood, I know you done shot yourself out in practice." Dale Ellis, "Yeah, Hodge, you might give me a little problem, but who coming in second?"
Right.
It was over right there, man. It was over. And you know Birdie, he followed up, so he can back it up.
We're on with the great legendary Craig Hodges, former Chicago Bulls player, a staple here in the Chicago market, of course, the 3-time consecutive 3-point shooter. All-Star festivities that are taking place here in the Chicagoland area this weekend. This is the association, Lloyd Walton, Dr. Lloyd Walton.
Yes.
But Craig, you know, we joke about, I joke about it because, you know, I'm honored to be in you guys' presence, man. And again, somewhere along the way, I missed the chapter, man.
Should have been right-handed.
Something.
Yeah, that would have helped.
Yeah. But you know, there are some guys, man, that say, "Hey, man, we were born at the wrong time." Seeing what you've been able to accomplish from a 3-point, and that was new to the game. It was implemented in the game in the '80s, right?
Right. Actually, when the ABA came over, then they started to implement some of the rules from the ABA.
Right. But do you sometimes look at yourself and pinch yourself and say, "Man, if I was playing in today's game, what I'd be able to do, and how much money I'd be bringing in, brother?" Because you were, again, when you shot those threes, man, I mean, it was almost money in the bank, so to speak.
Teach.
I mean, we loved when Craig Hodges got the rock and he fired it up, man, because we knew. And you talked about the heyday as far as our championship runs, man. You were that cat. And do you think that, man, if you played in today's game, what your life would be like?
You know, Lloyd could tell you it's a different game. It's nowhere near as physical. The ability, like for someone like Lloyd back in the day, if he was to play in this day and time, you get, just from being the point guard that he is, maneuverability with the ball, understanding spacing and the like, he could probably get off 15 to 20 shots when he wanted to, as opposed to playing within a system that says you need to get the ball to this point, and then you got to get it to 3 specific people who are your main scorers. The way the game is played today is who can dribble and shoot the best.
Okay.
If you can dribble and shoot, you're going to get some reps, and you're going to get a lot of opportunities where, you know, we came along in a time when the game was played with positions. There are no positions today.
Right.
If you can shoot, it's positionless, you know. So you have, I was talking to Shaq and he was saying, man, Hodge, can you believe this? Yeah, I can believe it, man, because it's all about the analytics of it. 3 is more than 2. If we don't get the ooh-ah moment with a dunk, we'd rather have a 3 or a 3 attempted. And it's cool, but once again, the game goes through the cycles. We're just going through one of those cycles. But if we were to play today, it would be love to see. But I feel better that I played in the golden age of basketball. Those ages that touched one another, from the Kareem, bringing it from the old era to the Michael Jordan, you know, being his teammate. And then at the end of it, having Coach Kobe with the Lakers as the shooting coach. So I've been blessed, man.
You know what? I'm glad that you said the golden age. Real quick, as far as the NBA is concerned, and you mentioned Kobe and you know the passing of his 13-year-old daughter Gianna and the 7 other passengers in a helicopter. You can share your thoughts as far as your relationship with Kobe. But one thing I wanted to ask you regarding the game itself for the NBA. You know, All-Star Weekend here in Chicago, in honor of Kobe Bryant, what the league decided to do was, you know, the first 3 quarters, that you know, the West and the East, they're going to play, and whatever points they accumulate, they will do that. For the 4th quarter, they're going to take those points. So say if one team has 100, the other has 75. The first team to reach 24, which is in honor of Kobe Bryant, the number that he wore, basically will win the game. What do you think of those changes regarding the game to honor Kobe Bryant?
Now, I know Cole. All right? I know Cole. Cole would be like, later for that. Go out there and hoop. Win. Whoever the coldest wins.
Okay.
Right? Now, the gimmicks are the gimmicks because the league is what it is, but that's cool for them to do. But to me, the brother was, you know, I was blessed to be around him for 5 to 6 seasons. And just to see the work habits, the energy that he brought to the arena, and the ability to know that the young brother was a critical thinker, and he thought a lot about humanity. He cared about humanity, and we lost a stellar one.
Okay. Craig, I want to touch back on your journey and what happened with your decision, right? Which I think was critical. And to be honest, when I have a picture of Bill Russell. Muhammad Ali,
Yes, sir.
Jim Brown.
When they're sitting around the economic
sitting at the
table.
right? So when I think about you, and I meant to bring it,
Okay.
you probably only know this, a picture of me and you.
Got you.
Okay, some years ago. But I have that kind of esteem and appreciation for you.
Likewise.
The ability to be able to say that I can sacrifice what I have for those who are less fortunate. Okay, that's what means something to me. So going back to what we started with, tell us a little bit about, okay, your decision to wear your African garb, but also the letter that you wrote, and I'm told that you still have the letter. What did the letter actually say, and who did you actually give it to? Was it the aide? Was it the president, or whoever it was? Because I want this to come from you. I don't like hearing people make
Hey,
up
man,
stories.
I wrote the letter, man.
Right.
I let her say that Bush ain't nothing.
Yeah, I'm in the cigar store and everybody got a story. I'm like, you don't even know Craig, okay?
Right.
But because of that, I want you to have the kind of platform to be able to say exactly what happened. Nobody got to make up anything up. All they got to do is go to my podcast.
Exactly.
Boom.
Thank you. First of all, for me, we've always were taught to write letters to our Congress people, to our senators as I was growing up, and we did that. And initially, I thought we were going to the White House right after we won in June. So the sister who made the garment for me, sister by the name of Aneva, she was in LA. And I asked her, could she make them for the whole squad, right? because I was thinking that we was all going to go. Brothers didn't know it though. So we won a championship. She's sitting in the lobby when we get to back to the hotel in L.A. with this big box. I go up in the room. She comes upstairs with me. I put it on, come out. The brothers out in the hall celebrating. Yeah, man, yeah. So I jump out in the hallway. Yo, brothers, this is how we going to the White House. Oh, no. No, that's you, man. That's you. I'm like, all right, cool. But anyway, summer goes on. We go into training camp. Then they tell us we're going to go to the White House October 1st. The night before, I love playing ping pong, so I got a ping pong table in the crib. Me and my boy playing ping pong, and it hits me. Man, you got to write a letter. And at that time, I'm hitting the ball. Yeah, man, I got to write this letter to the president. Brother, you sure you want to do that? Didn't even cross my mind ramifications, Lloyd. So sit down and write the letter. And the letter is consistent of, first of all, thanks for the opportunity for us to get to come to the greatest edifice on the planet, knowing that I'm getting ready to meet the leader of our nation. Not too many people in our country will get a chance to do this, especially from where I'm coming from. And I want to make sure that as I come, I'm championing the causes of those who are less fortunate, those who are disenfranchised, poor people, people of color, but more specifically, I want to impress upon you to consider the issues of African Americans who have been here for 400 years, and shouldn't our plight be put on the forefront when we're talking about aid and awareness and counsel? Can you consider our issues the same way you consider foreign policy issues? When I first got to the plane, I had the letter in my dashiki, and I told Tim Hallam, who's our press agent, that I had planned on giving the letter to the president. When we got to the White House, he was informed that I had to get a letter to him, and he would give it to the press secretary because you can't hand anything directly to the president. So, funny story. We're in the World's Garden, shooting jumpers, right? BJ shoots his 10, take his jacket off, got on his little three-piece, take his jacket off. He's shooting his bank shots. He says, yeah, Grant Hill was here, because Duke had won. Grant Hill was there earlier, the week before, and he made 10 straight or something. BJ made 11 bank shots. And then Phil says, oh, he ain't the best shooter we got. He say, Bush, like, if not him, who? And Phil points at me. Come on, Hyde, shoot a little bit. You know what I told him? Man, I'm too clean. He's like, come on, man, shoot. So I shot about 7, 8 in a row. George was like, Barbara, come over here and look at this. So for me, the whole event, it was cool. It was cool for me because I knew at that point in time, I did what God wanted me to do on behalf of me and my folks. And in that point of sacrifice, when we look at those ultimate sacrifices, Dr. King, when he walked on the balcony, did he know he was getting ready to sacrifice? When Malcolm walked to the podium, did he know he was going to sacrifice? Do we make movements that are in spiritual movements? They're spiritual. History records the sacrificing in it. When we're making them because that's what's supposed to be done.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you, brother.
Man, no, look, man, we go way back, and I have a profound appreciation
Man. Come on.
for who you are, what you stood for, from that day forward and on, right? We got to run, but I want you, right? I want you to talk a little bit about, as I run, seriously, talk a little bit about those stances that players take or don't take today in today's game. Right.
When we stop and look at, for instance, one of the major sacrifices within the NBA is Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, who I feel his sacrifice, his standing on behalf of being able to pray the way he wanted to pray before the national anthem or whatever. He lost $40-50 million. But he made his stand during a time when social media wasn't prevalent. We have social media now, so the ability to set a platform and set a precedent is easier than it was then. Likewise, you can have an immediate impact and an immediate group of people who will help you and support you, where that wasn't the case then. So now I don't really feel there's any, I think the biggest part now is that we have to study the issues that we're going to stand on, so that we'll know why we're taking these positions.
Your perspective, and we appreciate you taking some time out on Dr. Lloyd Walton, the Association podcast here. Get back over here real quick before we say goodbye. I know we got it, but he's got to close out real quick. Your thoughts on the Colin Kaepernick and his stance. Do you think it's similar to your position and those who came before him, or does he have a different agenda or platform?
Well, I think one of the great things that he had great platform, standing on righteousness, and he also had a great lawyer behind him, Mark Geragos. You feel me? Likewise, his association handled him differently than mine handled me. So he had a lot of different things going on, but at the same time, I think the biggest thing that he had the support of black people behind him. Yeah. And black people have afforded him opportunity to be able him being able to say what he said, and social media platform to help in that. Now you can get 30 NFL teams to come and watch you. Sure. We didn't get that opportunity.
Sure. Hey, Dr. Lloyd Walton, we're going to wrap things up here. We're going to this is just the first installment. Hopefully we'll get an opportunity to sit down and talk with you again, because this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yes, sir.
And I know you're a wealth of knowledge, not only, spiritually, professionally, socially, but collectively. You are a diamond in the rough, as they say, and we appreciate everything that you've brought to the city of Chicago, the NBA, and to this world. On behalf of Dr. Lloyd Walton and the Association, our weekly podcast, Craig Hodges, thank you so very much.
I'm looking forward to coming back, brother. Appreciate you, man.
And I got to tell you, man, we wish, somehow, some way, Adam Silver and the NBA.
Wait. Now, we have something that is called the Mamba Challenge.
Okay.
8 3-point shots made.
8 3-point shots
made. Not just taking them. Made.
Okay.
You got them to keep moving.
Okay.
So it's 24 seconds to shoot to make 8 3-point shots. I've done it 3 times already.
Is that right?
On camera. So
really?
I put that challenge out there.
Wow. Man,
I did it.
I wish we had it for Adam Silver to send it, because I guarantee you, Derrick Rose will not be participating in the skills challenge this weekend at the United Center. I don't know. They haven't said anything.
Oh,
well, they said it's injury. They said it's injury. It wasn't really confirmed, but that's what we're hearing right now. But I guarantee you, Chicagoans would love to see Craig Hodges fire up threes from the United Center, man.
We're good, man. We're good. I did my time.
But thank you so much for everything, man. We appreciate you, and we'll talk to you again. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Association. Dr. Lloyd Walton had to get out of here. He has many engagements regarding the NBA All-Star Weekend that's taking place here in Chicago. Check out his podcast every Thursday on Spotify, on SoundCloud, on the RewindSports60.com, and we'll be showing up all over the Chicagoland area and internationally on your web. Take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next week. It's the Association, Dr. Lloyd Walton, yours truly, Jerry Riles.